Never in the history of the world has there ever been a march in defense for another species. It is the beginning of a worldwide movement and is the only way our grandchildren will see these wise and magnificent creatures. This is a statement made by Leslie Griffith, a 9-time Emmy winner. She made a documentary entitled When Giants Fall, which portrays the slaughtering of elephants for their valuable ivory tusks. According to John Darling of the Daily Tidings, the film interviews people who are involved in anti-poaching campaigns as well as showing clips of gory elephant corpses. She hoped the film would bring light to the hidden markets for elephant tusks, going as far as risking her own life in African countries to get this film. It is people like Griffith that are big contributors to the anti-poaching community, helping people who are unaware of this elephant poaching all around the world. It started as hunting for sport in the 17th century, before becoming endangered later as it became more valuable, and now people are starting to take notice and demand an action for change. The illegal poaching of elephants has been detrimental to the population, which has led an endangerment to the species. As early as the 17th century, there were many reasons for hunting. According to the IFAW for Time magazine for kids, there were many uses for ivory, including piano keys, billiard balls, sculptures, and other luxurious items. This is when the number of elephants really began to plummet. It wasn't until 1978 that the African elephant was finally entered as threatened under the U.S. Endangered Species Act. Continuing to drop numbers further, in the 1980s, the number of elephants overall had fallen from 1.2 million to 600,000 elephants overall. It wasn't until 1989 that the CITES, the organization that banned trade on ivory all over the world. But in a backward spin, later, 3 major African countries were allowed to sell 50 tons of this ivory to Japan. According to the WWF, the demand in Asia for this ivory is what keeping these illegal markets open. It is estimated that tens of thousands of elephants are still killed every single year for this ivory. According to Yami Yi of the New York Times, from 2010 to 2012 alone, 1/5 of the total population of elephants were slaughtered. Along with the problem of killing these elephants, humans are driving them out of their habitats for the use of agriculture. See, the problem is these elephants will storm into farms, damaging crops and even sometimes injuring or killing other people. Then the farmers, with retaliation, will kill these elephants. According to Adam Vaughn for The Guardian, a report showed that Africa was losing $25 million a year in tourism alone. So not only is it hurting the environment, but it's also hurting their economy. On the positive side, people have started to take notice. You may have seen people online or even in school boasting pastel shirts that read Ivory Ella on the front or the back. Other than just for style, these shirts have a deeper meaning. According to their website, 5 entrepreneurs took notice of this occurring ivory problem and decided that they wanted to do something about it. So they opened up the company. 10% of profits are donated to this cause along with many others. Although 10% does not sound like a lot, to save the elephants alone, an organization, they donated almost $811,000. To the Elephant Crisis Fund, they donated about $44,000. They have also made generous donations to the American Heart Association, the Breast Cancer Research Fund, Toys for Tots, and many other organizations. Their global mission is ultimately to save the elephants, and they want to bring together all types of people across the world to do it. There are many other types of organizations that also appeal to this organization. Save the Elephants, like I mentioned earlier, is an organization in large scale that works towards this effort. According to their website, they participate in research and monitoring, raising money, elephant protection, human-elephant coexistence, and spreading awareness on a global aspect. They say that the average price for 1 kilogram of this ivory is about $2,100. They are trying to fight this dollar sign by raising even more money to shut down these black markets. Organizations like these are a big contributor to the movement that is happening in countries across the globe. Since North America isn't home to the elephant, it is less popular here than it is in Africa or Asia. With that said, however, it does not make this any less important. The illegal poaching of elephants in Africa has been detrimental to the population, which has led to the endangerment of the species. The issue dates back to the 17th century, before anyone saw the true problem at hand. Finally, in the 1900s, it became endangered, and now people are trying to put a stop to this poaching. Many people are aware of this problem now, and in the future, hope that generations will be able to see elephants still walking the earth. I'm going to end with a quote from John Donne off of Goodreads, which reads, "Nature's only greatest masterpiece, an elephant, the only great harmless thing." Thank you.